James is a big Tottenham fan. James, good morning to you. What do you want to say?
Good morning. Good morning. I don't think there's a choice. It's Conte. And Harry Kane, if we remember, was part of the Pochettino team that was incomparably better team than the team that Conte has at the moment. And Harry Kane failed to drag Tottenham through to the title against Leicester. He failed in the Champions League final when he didn't even get us there because he was injured, unfortunately. And I'm not decrying him. He's a fantastic servant to Tottenham. He's a lovely guy. And he has great humility. But unfortunately, the only way that Tottenham can build for the future is to sell Harry Kane now and get Conte to build this club with a long-term contract. There can be no doubt about it. And unfortunately, Harry Kane, the reason he plays so deep that Simon doesn't like, and I get it, is because under Mourinho, Tottenham had nobody that was creative in midfield. And Harry Kane was the only person creating anything. And
wow.
I think that is now how he plays.
Okay,
but he plays the same way under Conte, because Conte just sits there in a mid block and doesn't get forward. So he gets bored as a forward if you're up there on your own and you're getting no service. Yeah. He wants to get involved because actually he knows he's got the quality. You only have to look at his stats. Sure. I mean, where are you going to find somebody that can produce the consistency and the level of goals and assists that Harry Kane is giving you?
I think, Dean, and I don't have the statistics right in front of me, but I would hazard a guess. If you look at the number of goals Harry Kane has scored against the top six sides compared to the rest of the league over his career, it is a very small percentage, I would guarantee you. And I think the problem is Harry Kane is brilliant at scoring goals against Burnley, against Leicester, against Southampton. He'll score 3-4. But you see him against Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal.
He's got an unbelievable record against Arsenal. I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair because
he loves to go in the derby.
But Tottenham aren't the side that go into any of those games like they're going to control the game. They are sit there, defend, and they have done it for the last 10 years. Sit there and defend and hope for counter-attacks.
Yeah.
That's what they are against the top side. So he's not going to be getting chance after chance to score against the top sides.
James, listen, thanks for the call. I recognise your voice, your regular call, and thanks for doing that. James in Tottenham, I wonder if he's a Tottenham fan. I would suggest probably that he is. Guys, there's a vacancy for a centre forward at Manchester United. Kane would fit there perfectly. That's a club that can match his wages and his ambition. And that's from a Tottenham fan. Ray is a West Ham fan but wants his say on this. Where do you stand on Kane and Conte then, Ray?
Good afternoon, chaps. Morning for me.
Morning for us too, mate.
Ask people, is Kane a winner? I put something out on the WhatsApp group after the game on Saturday, and to me, I look at Giroud and Kane, and Giroud couldn't lace Kane's boots, but Giroud is a serial winner. And I look at Kane, and he's not won anything, and I want to put it to you, chaps, do you think he is a winner? There's something lacking in his, when it comes to the crunch. I just cannot see. I mean, Simon might be interested in this. People with winning mentalities seem to get over the line.
I mean, I know you say about Giroud, so let's compare Giroud. Giroud won a World Cup without pretty much having a shot on target for France. So he hasn't. His contribution has been holding the ball up, been a nuisance, linking the play in that World Cup, and he did a great job of it. But he hasn't dragged France to win the World Cup. And sometimes I think...
what I'm saying is throughout his career, Giroud, if you have a look what he's won, FA Cup, League titles, Champions League, Kane is a better player but hasn't won nothing because has he got that winning mentality? I question it.
But that's like saying, Shearer only won a couple of trophies because he decided to play for Newcastle.
Shearer scored over 250 Premier League goals in.
Yeah. If Kane went to Manchester City, then he would win it all, and you'd go, well, he's one of the greats. But he's not. He's at Tottenham.
Well, why is he? But don't look at the players that have left Tottenham and gone on to win things. Is he just staying there to be a Tottenham hero?
Well, that's something you could definitely question.
I can see where he's going with the
call.
Yeah,
I understand where Ray's going. I think also you've got to look at the relationships he had at the time when he signed the contracts. When he signed the long-term contracts with Tottenham, he was in with Pochettino, and Pochettino looked like he was building something, and there was a belief factor that came into play. Don't forget that we can all look at the winning mentality of Jurgen Klopp, but it took 3 years to manifest itself at Liverpool. So with that in mind, the Conte relationship that's now in play, which might keep him at Tottenham Hotspur, doesn't make Harry Kane not have the ambition to win things or not necessarily a winner. He hasn't played within winning frameworks and elite teams. So when we're comparing Giroud and his World Cup win, we'll look at the players that were in that side and look at France approach that World Cup and look what their outcome was, and then look at our approach to the World Cup, look at the mentality that we have, look at our British press and look at the reaction to this World Cup campaign that we've just had, which is pat them all on the bleeding back. I'm sorry, you come out of the quarter-final stage and everyone thinks that's what was planned for you. So with that in mind, I do think he has a winning mentality. I don't think he has an elite winning mentality, but I do think he has a winning mentality as a matter of course. Otherwise, he couldn't possibly have scored 250 goals.
Let's ask
and taken penalties
let's ask
the way he usually does.
Sean, who's a big Spurs fan, has been waiting patiently. Sean, good morning. What's your take in this?
Good morning. Yeah, I think it's to love Harry Kane as a Spurs fan and also acknowledge that he doesn't have, in the biggest moments, he succumbs to the pressure. And you can look at the Denmark penalty last year. He actually missed it. I know he scored the rebound, but everyone forgets. He missed that. And he doesn't miss many penalties, but when he does miss them, they tend to be at the biggest moments of his career. We had a penalty in the last minute against Liverpool to win it about 5 years ago, and he never misses penalties, and he missed that. And he's had a few finals to play with, and he hasn't turned up in any of them. And he does score against the biggest clubs.
Right. Sean's breaking up there. It seems pretty harsh, Dean. I don't know about you. I'm going to grab George, Chelsea fan, just as we hit the break. George, good morning. What's your point?
Morning, guys. Yeah, just going on it. I've got a couple of points here. People are saying about Harry Kane. Has he not scored 190 Premier League goals? Right. Being a Chelsea fan, I'll tell you this right now, it's very hard to find a striker, but we tend to ruin them. Yeah. But how about this for a turn up the books? Pochettino goes back to Tottenham. Conte comes back to Chelsea. Potter goes to England.
I didn't get the last part of that.
Conte goes to Chelsea. Pochettino comes to Tottenham, and Potter goes to England.
Good grief. All right. I don't know if we're all ready for that. Hey, who should say it won't happen?